Good morning. Welcome to Gimpy's History Corner. I'm Gimpy. Here I am, Halloween with the Scream Brothers, Alice and Archie. I stay back and pass out candy at their house, and they go off with their mom and dad around the neighborhood and have a great time. Fill up those orange buckets. Then their parents argue with how much they're allowed to eat when they get home. That's a Halloween tradition, I guess, right? Okay, we're on video 158. And I got to thinking about how social issues politically are so important today. Abortion, gay rights. And wondered if that was true all through our history. What were the social issues throughout our history that were important to Americans? So this is called Periods in U.S. History Where Social Issues Were Paramount. Okay, first in colonial and post-revolutionary America from 1600 to 1800, early debates over slavery, Native Americans, displacement, and the role of religion in public life set the stage for later conflicts. The antebellum period from 1800 to 1860, prior to the Civil War, slavery, abolitionism, women's rights. That's the period of the Seneca Falls Women's Rights Convention. And the temperance movement, anti-alcohol, dominated public discourse. Civil War and Reconstruction, 1861 to 77, abolition of slavery, the Freedmen's Bureau, the constitutional amendments of 13, 14, and 15 regarding civil rights, and reshaped citizenship and the civil rights. This is when the former slaves became citizens of the United States. Then you had the Progressive Era, 1890s to 1920s. The economic collapse of the Great Depression forced massive social welfare reforms like Social Security, labor protections, and government relief programs. Then they followed up with the Civil Rights Era of the 1950s and 60s, still struggling with the black-white issue, struggles against segregation, voting rights, suppression, and racial inequality. You had the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 under President Johnson. And then the next stage was the war on poverty. 1960s and 70s, you had social movements under Lyndon Johnson's programs expanded welfare, feminism, Native Americans, and the LGBTQ movements gained traction. 60s and 70s was also a war on drugs, the drug culture, the hippies. I graduated high school in 1974, so this all sounds familiar to me. Feminism, Native Americans. I don't remember the LGBTQ movement. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I'm sure it was there. And contemporary America from 1980s to the present, ongoing debates over health care, immigration, LGBTQ rights, racial justice, the Black Lives Matter, economic inequality continues to dominate the national conversation. So if you do a graph, one side's liberal, the other side conservative. This is how I see the social issues today. Conservatives are anti-civil rights. Liberals are pro-civil rights. Conservatives are anti-women's rights. Liberals are pro-women's rights. Conservatives are anti-abortion. Liberals are pro-abortion because they go along with women's rights in their mind. Conservatives are pro-limited government. Liberals are anti-limited government. Liberals believe the government's there to help people. Open it up and let it help people. Conservatives are anti-LGBTQ or anti-gay, and liberals are pro-gay. Conservatives are pro-economic inequality. They like the rich people. And liberals are anti-economic inequality. Conservatives are anti-budget deficit, though I'm sorry that hasn't been true in a long time, but they say they're against budget deficits. And liberals are more comfortable with budget deficits. And the last one I have is conservatives are anti-separation of church and state, and liberals are pro-separation of church and state. So that's how I see it, conservatives and liberals. And very few people are totally one way or the other. There are certain things that are on one side of the line, and another area they're on the other side. But that's been the conservative and liberal viewpoint for many, many years. I'm not sure it will ever change. Liberals tend to back up into conservative areas, like Bill Clinton was a Democratic president, but he worked with Republican Congress to get things done, reduced the welfare program, and did things that were more Republican in nature. Whether or not that was his really belief, or he saw the political landscape and did what he had to do. George Bush did a big help to help senior citizens with prescription drugs. That's a Democratic thing, but he was a Republican president. But election year, you want to get as many votes as you could. Those things happen. Nixon, during his time, did a lot of weird, almost liberal things. He did a lot of things for the environment, was pretty good. So, presidents go back and forth. Obama, militarily, was just as aggressive as Bush was. So there's no 100% one way or the other. Biden tried to help people with their college loans. Now Trump is trying to help people with their college loans. So I'm not sure where that came from. Trump passed budgets that helped the rich people, but now he's wanting to give everybody $2,000 out of tariff money. That's just how politicians work. They hear complaints about one thing or the other, so they try to go the other way a little bit to try to balance things out a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen with the LGBTQ. You got a Supreme Court there that's very, very, very conservative. And I don't think they would have ever approved of the gay marriage thing. But I don't know if there's something coming through the line that's going to upset that and turn that around. And the abortion thing has already been turned around. It was legal for tons of years, and this conservative court said, nah, I'm not going to do that. Go let each state decide. So women's liberation has kind of died off. You don't hear much about that anymore. I saw some women who have podcasts together, and they're pretty strong on women's rights, but I don't see a major movement like it was back in the 60s and 70s. And the separation of church and state is leaning more towards the conservative side these days. A lot of private church schools are getting government benefits. And the evangelists are proud supporters of an immoral President Trump. So I don't know. He's not going to go against his evangelist buddies. Okay, that's just my theory and my explanation of how the country has dealt with social issues from the beginning, whether it was slavery, Indian displacement, temperance, relief programs. There's always been social issues in this country, and there probably always will be. Okay, this is Friday, wild card breakfast day. I'm not sure where I'll go. We have a new restaurant that just got remodeled. I might try that one out. Have a great day.